If you do one thing leading up to the NFL DFS season, in the words of the great Seth Godin, I want you to find your tribe immediately. And here's how. We are back. It's the Joe Holka Show presented by Underdog Fantasy. We talk a lot about maximizing EV and small edges around here, but sometimes the experience and the fun that you have along the way is a big part of reaching those goals. I don't want that to be lost in all this. So today I'm going to give you 5 reasons to join a thriving DraftKings and FanDuel community, because having that group of people that truly get you, it's a much more fun and enjoyable experience for everyone. Actually, my personal favorite is number 5, so make sure you stick around until the end of the video. But before we dig in, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, RunTheSims.com, a premium fantasy tool site for season-long DFS and prop betting, a new spin on fantasy sports and DFS tools, where we're leaning on 10,000 simulations as the primary value driver. And as many of you may know, I was so impressed with what they're building. Run the Sims is now the official tools partner of the Joe Holka Show, the exact optimizer and data that I'll be using to construct my own DraftKings and FanDuel lineups all season long. And we talk about it a lot, but anytime you can find a system that simplifies everything into one easy-to-use product, that's going to be incredibly valuable for every level of player. So if you'd like to do the smart thing like many of the community have already done, feel free to use the link in the description below to join us in leveraging the next frontier of lineup optimizers and simulation tools, which, by the way, that link does support the channel, so thank you. And if you'd like $50 off your NFL season bundle, be sure and use code HOLKA at checkout. Since this is the community video, my tier 2 and 3 subscribers will be getting $100 off on their NFL season bundle, so take advantage of that. And last but not least, I will be giving away 4 signed NFL jerseys at the end of the month from Pristine Auction. Absolutely free to join if you register there with code HOLKA, or just use the link in the pinned comment of this video. All these things, it's not a big commitment. It takes less than 30 seconds to enter, and it is absolutely free, so don't miss out. I'm hoping this giveaway goes really well so we can just continue to give away a bunch of memorabilia during the season. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, let's do this. The first reason to join a thriving DraftKings and FanDuel community is that maybe you're one of those people that's just always taken fantasy football more seriously than your friends. This was me, by the way. I was the guy who everyone hated in their first fantasy football league. I sent way too many lopsided trades. I made spreadsheets. I just hawked the waivers. A bunch of stuff like that people hate. First off, time to find new friends. Just kidding. But I know I'm not alone. And one of the things that I miss a lot every single day about not being a pro hockey player anymore is that I loved being a part of a team. But I also didn't realize at the time how valuable it was to have a group of people to learn from and bounce ideas off of when I first started out. People like TJ Hernandez, Chris Raybon, Sean Newsom, CSU Ram. Also probably read every single one of Bale's books. But the point is, I try to surround myself with people that are just better than me at pretty much everything. Because one of my favorite quotes, we're the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with, I think is really true. And it's also true in DFS. The second reason to join a thriving DraftKings and FanDuel community is that maybe you're just committed to becoming a better player, but you need a little bit of help. There's no shame in that, by the way. I wouldn't be here without asking a million questions and observing smart people along the way that we're already crushing. Almost as valuable also is just learning what not to do. Sometimes you have to pay your dues. Better yet, you just meet people that have already taken it on the chin a few times, and it can be really valuable, even from a mindset perspective. So coming from someone who easily obsesses and just tends to overdo basically everything I do, one of the things I really took to heart early on, kind of mingling with some of these higher stakes players, is just to keep it simple. Make sure you check out that video I posted the other day about simplifying your process, by the way. Reason number 3 for joining a thriving DraftKings and FanDuel community is that it's kind of selfish, but you can cut down your research time through crowdsourcing a lot of this information, because maybe you don't have as much time to dig in as deep as you would like, but some of the best players in the world are just incredibly strong at sifting through information quickly, just gathering data from their inner circle and deciding what matters from there. This is part of the reason that I find it extremely valuable to run polls on my live streams and in my Discord. I stream every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday, by the way. But more, it's because I trust the people that are watching my content and who make it through the cracks into my community, because they're going to be the most highly engaged players out there, and a lot of them have a firm grasp on the pulse of what people are talking about throughout the week anyway. So from an ownership perspective, that's a huge edge, and also in roster construction. So it's not just 1v1 and 2v2 decisions, but for example, just working through as a group what you think you have to give up to go a certain path versus another path, and building your rosters is just super valuable, because there's a lot of people that are playing a bunch of different types of contests also. So that helps you from becoming overly anchored as well. Reason number 4 to join a thriving DraftKings and FanDuel community is a lot of people just need help staying grounded on Sunday morning. So you'll find that group of people to just keep you accountable leading up until kickoff. Super important. Say there's some crazy breaking news. Okay, maybe you take a breath. We're all working through this thing together, so maybe it's not time to blow up our entire week of our research process, and it's possible that the field is just going to overcorrect here as well, or the other direction. So on the subject of anchoring, like we were just talking about, sometimes there's a player that early in the week you felt you had to have, but now this breaking news comes into play on Sunday morning, and it brings a comparable player into the discussion who just happens to be at lower ownership. So sometimes what it takes is just that extra push, like the stones to get to that player that is is a little bit riskier, but if you have friends that are just constantly helping you reevaluate your thought processes, or at the very least can help bring you to your senses when you're about to do something dumb. Trust me, I've been there plenty of times. I told you this is my favorite one, but the fifth reason to join a thriving DraftKings and FanDuel community, screenshots. And honestly, a lot of tilt. I said it at the beginning of the video, guys. It's not all tactical. One of the best reasons to join a DFS community is just the authentic reactions that you can have in real time as the games are going on. I'd rather hang out in Discord with my community than Twitter on a Sunday, honestly, because we all have similar invested interests at that point. Always Stefan Diggs, by the way. And before I woke up my girlfriend and take tequila shots after that big hit, you better believe I was sweating first downs with our entire community the entire time. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of fantastic DFS communities out there. Of course, I'm a bit biased, but I did launch my YouTube memberships. So if you're serious about becoming a better DFS player in 2021, consider joining our growing community by hitting that join button or checking out one of the links in the description. Constantly thinking of new perks that I can give you guys along the way. If you have any ideas for perks that I could offer, let me know in the comments. But more just excited to get to know you guys on a little bit more of a personal level. I'll see you soon.